Good afternoon, brothers and sisters of Tuskegee Airmen Depot. Frank DeJesus here, Tuskegee Vice Chairman. As you guys know, we had a shop gate on Friday. I was not able to attend, but I did have notes planned out just in case I would make it that I want to share with you anyways. To start off, I want to shout out Vice President of MAPSTOA, Donald Yates, and Division Chairman Sean Battaglia, and Getting Transit to change the messaging that they were giving the people of New York City regarding the lack of buses on the road. They were telling on Twitter the people of the city that they didn't have enough bus operators to have enough service out on the road. We all know that's complete lies, right? As of right now, our overtime has been shot because we have about 25 operators or 20 operators sometimes on report and just waiting for a job to open up, right? So we have enough bus operators. What we don't have is working equipment. We all know that here at Tuskegee, our buses are always breaking down and we got to do roll calls and this, that, and third. Anyways, Mr. Yates and Mr. Battaglia have been bringing this up and sounding the alarm on it for quite some time. I've seen them do it personally. And finally, they got Transit to change their messaging on Twitter from blaming the lack of operators to blaming the lack of working buses. So I'm really happy they were able to do that. And that's a victory. Be it a small victory, I truly believe in my heart that the small victories add up to winning the wars, right? Winning small battles, you win the war. So thank you to those two guys for putting in the work like they always do. And yeah, thank you again, guys. Next, we have Lobby Day. Lobby Day is coming up in about 10 days or so from the recording of this video, maybe a little bit less. And Lobby Day is a huge deal, right? It happens every year, but this year in particular, just like every 3 years, is a contract year. And it's a good opportunity for us to show Transit that we're well organized and willing to follow our leadership's commands and leadership or so, right? This year, though I did want to be captain, Kiana and Miss Scott were selected by the chairman to do the captaining of the bus. We might have more than one bus, so we'll see how that goes. Either way, the plan is that I will be on that bus as well. Just enjoying the time with you guys and maybe talking a little bit of politics of what's going on throughout the system and maybe even the world. You know how I like to get into these things, right? The bus should be leaving around 6 a.m. That's how it typically goes. And we should be going up to Albany and probably getting back to the city around 5 p.m. That's about how it usually goes. So whoever's coming and whoever still wants to come, talk to Kiana or Miss Scott, and we're going to do our best to open up as many slots as possible for you guys to come out. On that note, like I mentioned, it is contract year. We should all be talking amongst each other to really figure out what we want for our futures here at New York City Transit and its union members, right? Of course, we all want money and we all want passes for our spouses and all these things, but it's really healthy when we all speak amongst each other to really debate ideas and how to go about implementing them and getting people in positions to really go for these things. I do want to mention that just a random fact that I heard and saw probably on the news the other day is that just in the month of January, Transit had a $32 million profit off of congestion pricing. Congestion pricing has been going on for over a year now, I believe, and they're making money off of it. So I don't want to hear at the bargaining table that they don't have enough money or nothing like that. We deserve a lot more, and it's up to us to fight for it. Nothing's ever going to be given to us. We need to fight for our future and that of our children. I like mentioning our children because New York City Transit has saved a lot of us out from the New York City urban, right? The New York City city. A lot of us went to college and but driving buses and maybe even subways, trains, we always knew it was there in the background, and it's always been a good job. But what you see with your eyes, sometimes you should believe, right? And we all feel that the job has gotten worse and worse and worse. And we need to fight to make it better and better, not just for us, but for our children to have options growing up here in the city. That's basically what I got for division level things. But moving on to depot issues, I got notes from what was said on Friday, and a few of the things I took notes on, and I just want to put my input on them. If you are on report, you must be either in the swing room or in the locker room, and you have to be attentive of being called for your report. It's happened a few times that people are being called and losing out on a run and even being put AWOL because they're not showing up when they're called, right? You might be sleeping in the car or something like that. You're not supposed to be in your car. You're technically not supposed to be sleeping either, unless you're off the clock, and, you know, we figure those things out as we do. But if you're on report, be in the swing room, be close by in the locker room, be attentive. We do not want to have to solve these issues after they happen. We want to prevent things from happening, right? While pre-tripping your bus, do not have any electronics in your ears. Don't be on your phone. We're not supposed to have Apple Watches and all these things. It's very important that you do not be put out of service for these things. It is a whole hassle. You might lose out on money, and it just brings unnecessary strain to the relationship between the union and dispatchers, right? They have a job to do. We know our job. Let's not make issues where there shouldn't be any issues. Another thing that they spoke on at the shop gate is pulling out on time. That's another thing, right? Tuskegee gets 15 minutes from report time to pull out time. And that's more than most places, right? If you have to use the restroom within those 15 minutes, don't make it a habit, right? You have 15 minutes, you could go use the restroom real quick. If it's not real quick, you can still go, but do not make that a habit. If it's regular that you have to use the restroom around that time, pull out your bus and call a person on the front. That's the solution to it. You're not going to get any hassle. Once again, it's about our relationship with the dispatchers, right? The dispatchers have a job to do. Whenever that job is not performed, they get hassled just like we get hassled. So for the sake of keeping a good relationship and keeping things going smoothly, we try to do our part. Again, if you have to use the restroom, pull out the bus, call a personal, and that'll avoid any issues. All right. Another thing is the radios on our bus, right? This is a real fight. It's a fight that I wrote about in some publishing that I had a long time ago. It's called the TA Map Store United newsletter. It's something that I might pick up doing again, but about two years ago, I wrote about this, and basically my belief and now the union's position is that it is unsafe to drive the bus without a working radio. We're not allowed to keep our cell phones on us, so a working radio is essential to us being able to call for safety if need so. The issue is this: it is not highlighted in red on our OVCR card. So it is very possible that when you turn down a bus for a non-working radio, that the dispatcher is going to tell you that. The union's position is that we're knocking these buses down. If they write us up, we will deal with it in the appropriate manner afterwards, right? We hope that the dispatchers understand this fight and that they refrain from writing us up. If they do, and enough of us are written up, this will become a bigger issue, and hopefully it'll be a fight that we could win and actually make change with, right? I will not be taking buses with non-working radios. It is up to you to do what you would like to do, all right? We'll keep it like that, all right? We recently had cars towed from the depot. I am 100% against this. I believe towing cars is an extreme measure and should be reserved for very, very, very last resort, right? I don't know where in that scale we were because, of course, I don't know everything that's going on, but I believe that things were done out of retaliation and not in the interest of keeping harmony between management and us bus operators or employees. With that said, we must do our best to respect what we have going on, right? Management has a few spots that are allocated to them. The union has 2 spots, and we must avoid using their spots as much as possible, right? And it happens that sometimes we park in their spots in the afternoons when we believe that most of them are gone and these spots will be vacant, right? That is something that you do at your own risk, but sometimes, we just have to do it. Try to move your car as soon as possible. If you're working overnight, that's where the real issue, I believe, is. Sometimes the night dispatchers don't have a spot to be in, or you're doing a night bus and it goes into when the AGM or the GST are coming into the morning. You cannot be in their spot when they get here in the morning, right? It's extremely disrespectful to them and their title. They have worked to earn that spot. And, though we might need it real quick, you cannot be there when they report for work in the morning. On that same note, we have a working relationship, and we hope that sometimes when we might be in one of this, not the AGM or GST spot, but a regular dispatcher slot, that they understand that I might have been here for an hour looking for a spot and I wasn't able to find it. So this was my very last resort. Most of these dispatchers are in the building, so really parking somewhere else is not a big deal. They could come move their car, this, that, and the third. But it is true that they have their spots and we should not be parking in them at all. And we should really try to avoid it. But towing cars was not the solution. I believe that, and I feel like it was very disrespectful to do so, right? But that's just the relationship that the union and management has to figure out. You know what I mean? When they do things like that to us, we have to somehow let them know that was wrong. And this might be part of that. And my attitude towards certain things might show that as well. We got to talk about things like favoritism and stuff like that, right? Like, you know, I understand that some people might be available more than others and stuff like that. But one thing that I strive for as a union rep is not showing favoritism, right? Whenever there's work available, I don't have a go-to person, right? Because that disqualifies everybody else, you know. I do pride myself in trying to share the work as much as possible. Be it I'm not in the office every day, and I am not accusing anybody of favoritism in the office. When I bring up favoritism, I mean it overall. But we need to really think about, is there favoritism? Are we being discriminated against? Are there other things in play? And if you feel that you have been treated unfairly or unequally in any way, let me know about it. I'm curious to see how the membership feels and finding solutions to how to fix these feelings for the membership, right? It's something that I feel personally sometimes, and I'm curious to know if a lot of people feel the same way, right? Also, that is something that has to do with professionalism, and it's a big issue, right, in corporate. So be aware that I am looking to explore certain things that might be happening around, right? Boom. During the last month, there was also a time where we had about 2 major snowstorms. Nobody got paid for snowbound like in previous years, right? A lot of us lost a day's pay, maybe 2 days' pay, because we couldn't make it to work through no fault of our own. There used to be a time where they allowed people to stay overnight and actually paid them so that they didn't miss their day's work. They didn't want to do that. We provided videos, we provided photos of people who, and news articles showing that railroads were not working and all these things. And transit decided not to pay us. That has to do a lot with it being a contract year and people holding their ground on certain things, to throw little jabs at each other. It's not fair to us, right? We work really hard, and it is extremely negligent of transit to take that stance against its employees when we're already living paycheck to paycheck. You know what I mean? Like, it was harsh on their behalf, and it's something that we should never forget. And hopefully we could get language on getting these things corrected, maybe in our next contract or the next one after that. But nobody should be losing pay over it being impossible for them to get to work. You know what I mean? Like, we are beyond that that kind of barbarism, and we don't deserve it. We deserve a lot better from transit. I wanted to touch on that and give you guys how I felt about it. Shout out to brother Felipe Ramos. This brother, if you ever speak to him, you will right away feel that this is an intelligent person I'm having a conversation with. My brother has brought to my attention something that we've all thought about, but maybe didn't feel it was a big enough issue, or didn't feel that anything could be done about it. I might have felt that way one time, but he brought a fight up that I believe I want to take up on and really try to help us all stay healthier. And this has to do with the seats that we sit on all day, right? The other day I had a bus with a brand new seat, and it was a game changer. This cushion on this bus, when I hit small bumps on the road, I didn't feel anything. That goes to tell me that the cushions that we are driving on, a lot of them have newspaper underneath them so that the operators could feel, it makes their backs feel better, and you know, they feel less pain and stuff like that. We need new cushions on most of these seats, right? I'm not sure how to measure how good a seat cushion is. I just know that I felt it the other day. I will be in talks, especially at our next safety meeting, if I'm allowed to perform it, with our safety officer, Mr. Best, and we will be having a new AGM come in that I do plan on working on a relationship with and try to get as much done with him as possible. His name is Mr. Baez. But I will be bringing this up and trying to get the buses up to speed and on cushions to prevent our backs from giving out. How they do. You know, a lot of us work with pain in our back, and whatever we could do to fix that, we should be trying to do. Right? On that note, as you guys know, I sent a message out last week on a bunch of potholes that needed to be fixed. And some of them have been fixed already. Others have to be fixed still. If they're not fixed soon, I will be putting in another request. Just keep in mind that if there's something that on the road that you guys feel needs attention, let me know. I follow up. Sometimes I do have to be reminded. I am juggling a whole lot of things at once, from clerical stuff to on-road issues to personal things at home and at the depot. I got 4 kids. I'm there. I'm a father and full time, and you know, so sometimes I forget to set a reminder or something. If it hasn't happened, reach out to me again. You are never bothering me when you call me, when you text me, when you remind me. Remind me, please. I could use the help, and I appreciate the help. In fact, moving on, we have, maybe this is final. Yeah. We have safety jackets. People have been awarded safety jackets, and I've seen them laying in Mr. Best's office for a few months already. I don't know why people haven't been called. I know Mr. Best is super busy, so I can't put that on him. I know I have the list somewhere around. I want you guys to receive your safety jackets. I'll be putting a list together. I'll be sending it out, and you guys go sign for it at Mr. Best's office and get what you've earned. All right. Lastly, I want to bring up something that's kind of more personal, but you guys know me. I spend a lot of time in the depot talking with you guys, and you guys ask me if I'm all right, if everything is going smoothly. It's been a little bit more than over a year that I was elected as vice chairman of Tuskegee Airmen Depot. And while it has been a pleasure to do this with you guys, it has not been easy, right? Like they say, if you're great, you receive hate. And trust me, I've received a lot of it. I'm not going to get into details because I don't want to shine too much light on the BS. But just know, and anybody who wants to question me, question it, that I am doing my best, right? And I'm very proud of what we as a family have accomplished in the last year, right? Just to name a few things that could have been accomplished long before I became an actual rep. I just want to mention them because they were significant. And like I said earlier, little battles win you a war, right? On the 92nd Street swing room, for years, there was no hot water in that sink. I got hot water into that sink, right? The limited stops between 116th Street and 125th Street, for years, the membership of Tuskegee was servicing these stops incorrectly. Nobody ever cared. Nobody got them fixed. I got them fixed, right? We no longer stop on 118th Street and 121st Street, northbound and southbound. I got that done, you know what I mean? Not to toot my own horn, but just to show I'm out here working. It doesn't matter that I'm on the road every day. That's not my choice. I want to be in the office. It's not my choice. There's nothing I could do about it. All I could do is continue to work hard for my members and make myself proud in the process, right? For the first time last year, and I can't take 100% credit for it because it was put together by the union office, right? But for the first time last year, we had a members appreciation barbecue, which I pretty much hosted the whole time. You know what I mean? And we had a great time. We took a bunch of photos and things went smooth. For the first time last year, we had the Tuskegee Depot handball tournament. We had a great time out there. You know what I mean? Things to bring Tuskegee together and build a bond and a true family environment. You know what I mean? This is what I envision Tuskegee to be, right? We got a really bad rap throughout the system right now, and that narrative got to change. Tuskegee got potential to be the best depot in the system, and I want to be part of that process, right? We went to Lobby Day last year, and we sat down with legislators. Steve DeRosier, our shop steward, sat right beside me and asked him how well that trip went. I hope this trip goes as good as last year's, you know what I mean, to Lobby Day. We had a blast. We felt accomplished, and this is how it should be going forward, right? And lastly, our former cleaner, Mr. Jesse Mendoza, he's the president of the Hispanic Transit Society. I have been a member of the Hispanic Transit Society a long time. He tapped me recently to be the vice president of the Hispanic Transit Society. I humbly accepted that. And I want you guys to know that the title means what it means, but who I am is somebody who's helpful to everybody, right? If I could use the society to help anybody, doesn't matter what heritage or what race or what culture you are, this title as Hispanic Transit Society Vice President will be used for that. If I could call Zariga for you, if I could call anybody to get you out of a jam, any superintendent, which I run into through these connections, I will. You know what I mean? I will be passing out membership flyers for it. I would like for you guys to sign up. Doesn't matter who you are eligible and are welcome to sign up to the HTS. All right? I believe as vice president, as vice chairman of Tuskegee, the depot has gotten better, and I've helped do that, but we have a long way to go, right? And I know this turned a little bit personal, but I just wanted to mention that it has been a year, and it's been really cool to serve you guys, right? Boom. In closing, I want to just thank everybody for being who you are. I was away those 3 weeks, and I received countless phone calls asking about me. I truly appreciate that. I'm back. You guys will see me around again, like I usually am. And, you know, we're going to move forward and really try to build camaraderie here at Tuskegee. I'm looking forward to the future and what it brings. This is the Shopgate that I've been able to put together for you guys. Those are most of the notes. I know I've missed a few things. Send me text messages, send me voice notes, send me whatever you like so that I can address them how I usually would at a Shopgate. Again, I am sorry I couldn't make it. It was my RDO, and it was just impossible for me to do due to childcare mostly, all right? Anything you guys need, you guys know my number, 347-484-7485. If you're getting this message, of course you have it. And that's pretty much it. Have a blessed and safe day. At your service, Frank De Jesus, Tuskegee Vice Chairman. Take care.